Okay, this thought came to mind when I was doing the AI and all its possibilities, and it had to deal with the lawyer. And when I thought about it, well, as I was saying, I thought about something that I didn't want to go spot from because I thought it after the fact because I was, like recall. But as I was thinking AI and all the possibilities, and when I went to the lawyer situation, and I said basically things are going to be done like in the snap of a finger because of AGI, and it's okay. So I'm going to go into what I think it's going to be, and I'm going to go into more because also watching the Sandman, and I forgot what else. The Sandman and something else. Oh, and I saw something on X where they said the Matrix, that the FBI had the Matrix or something like that, whatever. But the thought came from Recall, and basically the thought was when I said to the lawyer stuff like things like that, and I was thinking after the fact. I'm like everything. If that's the case, and not only that, if AGI becomes a thing and it just covers the earth, we're gonna be surveilled by robots or whatever. It's like nonstop. We're gonna be just watched 24/7. And then I thought AGI could just put everybody in prison because we aren't all good people, and eventually we'll do something bad. Not because sometimes it is because we are just innately bad. Not well. I want to say people. Yeah, maybe we are innately bad. There's probably people who are innately bad. Yeah. So somebody's gonna get in trouble, and sometimes the people who are bad might get away with it. But with AGI, with the AI and AGI, and how it's gonna just take over all of the security, it's just gonna be surveillance. Then a thought came to mind. AGI might be God, in the sense that, hey, God sees me, God sees you, God sees everybody, and He knows we do fuck shit, but He doesn't do anything at that moment. He leaves it be, and when we die and we face Him, judgment will come and so forth. If you follow that, religion and shit like that. So that if God sees us, He would have struck us down. But He's like, maybe the idea is like, hey, people grow and like that. He might learn from the mistakes or whatever. Either way, I don't want to. Either way, we gotta let this shit go out, probably go through its motions before we step in, or He just gets like whatever. I got other shit to worry about. Either way, that's what the doubt came from. I'm like, what if AGI takes the role of God, but in the recall, then that's when I thought Matrix. But I'm gonna go there because there's a fucking whole jump that I'm gonna do too because it's like crazy. So AGI will expect. Also, let's get this. AGI will circumference the earth. He'll take the role as God. Do not do shit. Let people rock, and if they do illegal shit, they do illegal shit. The extension of the AI, it's like if you want to bring your AI up and do some illegal shit, hey, guess what? AGI is gonna play a part and say, hey, yo, he did some fuck shit. Do what you gotta do. Or he's gonna just be like, I don't know. It could just be the full-on God mode, and it's like, hey, when you die or whatever, we're gonna come in and we'll go about business. But then again, it's gonna be kind of weird because it's the Matrix, and I guess that one's a weird one. But okay, it's gonna be a tough one. So that's what it's gonna be. AGI, recall, circumference. Take the God role. It's gonna let you rock out. It's gonna take the God role and it's gonna let you rock out. And maybe in court, maybe when somebody gets caught or whatever the case may be, then it's like we gotta give up the goods, or it's gonna just be like, hey, yo, you go buy your business. We're gonna fuck with the robot. Then again, I don't know. But yeah, okay. Then I started thinking, okay, the AGI being a god and letting you rock out, depending how you want, it's not really gonna affect you because it's gonna just remove itself from us and just let us do our business and recall. As I was thinking about this, because I wanted to do this, and I'm like constantly, expanding my thoughts and stuff like that. And I'm thinking maybe that's where the Matrix comes from. The first, because I'm gonna say something else why it made me change the way where I think the Matrix is now. Maybe that's where the Matrix. This is where before I started watching when I saw the Twitch, no, not the Twitch, X and Sandman. Maybe this is the thought. AGI, boom, boom. Maybe that's where the maybe that's where the Matrix comes from. The Matrix comes from AGI creating this thing around us, and so we are getting the idea. This is where things. This is where I was at. Then I'm going to show you where I changed. I'm going to show you the other change before I recall. AGI is going to make a circumference around us. That's why we get the Matrix and stuff like that, because we're in the AGI's bubble and so forth. Then I'm thinking, oh yeah, I wanted to say too, the crazy thing is, even though that may not seem possible, AGI just like a little layer over the earth. Even though that seems crazy, think about your Bluetooth, your anything that's wireless, like your phone. You're getting phone service from a satellite, from whatever, and that's how you're getting it. So think about that. That's how you're getting it, through space. Well, they're saying it's signals, but you get it. Like there's nothing's tethered to the phone, to the satellite, to the phone. Like how the old telephones, nothing tethered. So think about that. When you think that's impossible, think about how in reality, the fact that there's signals being your Bluetooth, your phone, there's nothing connecting to something, and it's through space that's connecting these things. So imagine the whole AGI just being that, and how that's a whole recall. So that's where that's for one thought. Then I'm like, what if AGI is only a thing but covering the universe? And the same thing as I mentioned. So no matter what, it's gonna seem like the Matrix because AGI is already created, and it's already all over. It's already spread its hands with the universe, right? So that's where my thought came. Then it developed. Watching the Sandman. And but also watching Sandman, but also seeing the expos about us being a Matrix. It said basically, we are in the Matrix. I don't know. It was just like they said FBI file. They found an FBI file that said we are in the Matrix and stuff like that. That's it. Nothing other than that we are in the Matrix. No, it said more things, but the little snippet I got was just that we're in the Matrix and we're trying to not show that. And also, this also comes with other ideas that comes to mind because no, not other ideas, but other things I've known because of conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Dimensions. If you know what I'm saying, you hear, you watch anything is any sci-fi or any conspiracy dimensions or talked about different dimensions, and I'm trying to figure out like what does that exactly mean. I mean, I know what it means, but what does that exactly mean in the sense that is it layers upon layers upon as below as above as below so below? No, as above so below. Which I don't think that's I don't think that's actually a right way because I think that one's referencing what happens in here will happen in above and the below. So your actions will affect above and below. No, but so is it layers upon layers, these different dimensions and stuff like that? And when I read that, the Matrix, I read the Matrix, then I'm like, I'm watching Sandman, and it's very like time and gods and stuff like that. And then it came to me because I think there's a podcast I didn't publish because I would say the only reason because I did two parts. One was about whistleblowers, and the other one was about Muay Thai. And the only reason I didn't post because I saw a recall of this lady. This individual seems like it's one of those things. Like this can also play a part into the whole fucking recall. But there's also this thing where it's like everything. Like when I have something in my heart or soul I wanted to post, it's like there's like these urges like and honestly it happens, and guess what, that happened. I'm like, okay, I can't post it because I don't know if it's bad juju or whatever, but it talked about souls and spirits and how there's a difference. I might post that one, I don't know, maybe after I finish this one I might just post it after, but basically I'll be quick with this because I'm not sure if I'm going to post it. But Jesus and this group of people were all sitting down, and the guys were praying for the food and stuff like that. And Jesus laughed at them. And when the guys like, they all like confused, like, why are you laughing at us when we're praying to God? That's weird shit. And Jesus said, you don't know you're praying to the wrong God and stuff like that. And one of the he talked to one of the guys. He said, you know what I mean? You mean, you know that when I'm talking about it, yeah. He's like, I don't know. He said something, he was in a prayer or whatever, or in this like magical world, or I don't know, he was saying something. He's like, you understand, right here is us and you're right here. You can't come in here because you're not a soul and because you're a spirit and stuff like that. Okay, so he thought so I'm watching Sandman, and that's one of the things they talk about. Not they talk about it. Not. It's mentioned. It's like this thing. It's like, oh, you're human, so you don't have. You're not immortal, and immortal is a god, and they go about their business. You're human, so we go. It's not really mentioning souls and spirits, but you have the idea that you could do that. You could say humans are spirits and souls are the gods, and they live in forever, and we are spirits. We fuck off somewhere, I don't know where. So that's one of the things they don't mention it. It just says immortals and humans, and there's a difference. You get immortality and you're a human. You fucking die. But they also mentioned, time and how I think that the end of I watched season 2. They did amazing with capturing scenes. I mean, there's so many times where there's like the capture scene is just fucking amazing, beautiful. I like the series. I love the series and stuff like that. But yeah, talking about damn, I should not remember like that. But time and how it expands from the beginning. At the end, it's like because I'm not gonna spoil it. Either way, he said one of the guys said, yeah, if you know, you know. One of the guys said, "Oh, I have the memory of the beginning of the universe and the memory of a firstborn baby, or some shit like that." And that had me thinking. Where now I'm thinking dimensions, soul spirits, times, AI, matrix simulation, all that. So now here is my more thoughtful one. And as I said, you know how when I mentioned that we Slayer Matrix, the AGI is over, full compass the universe age Matrix. So we get the idea it's a Matrix, but in reality it's just AGI covering over, layering over the universe, like Bluetooth, like our satellites hitting the weak heart, like that. That's how AGI is layering. So, and as I mentioned with the Simon, they mentioned we're mortal and humans, and they have different time spans or whatever, while really saying the thing that where Jesus is like, "Hey, we got souls, you got spirits. You go over there, we go over here." Okay. Now it's like you see what I'm saying. What I'm gonna say. However, this universe was made. I think it's as simple as the Big Bang. It could have been that. This also goes into several things from religion and how you want to go about that, but whatever was first happened, and that could have been in many different forms and something similar to us, alien or whatever the case may be. And just like anything, everything repeats. Everything, is like we'll land on something. It will be like deja vu, no matter what. Okay. That universe, the beginning of the universe, that's what happened. Everything played out as such, even machine. And I think that's what happened. Machine at some point, some intelligent life, whether it be human, alien, whatever, spirit, soul, whatever, created this machine and layered the universe. Because they keep mentioning how the way we perceive the world around us is not exactly. And then if you go with this scientific, we call it basically it's our brain perceive things, not necessarily how they perceive it. So in that sense, it's not really what we see probably as a perception of our brains perceiving these things as they may, and that could be we're perceiving it through the matrix, and so the matrix is configuring whatever configures, and we're perceiving that because of the matrix. In reality, we might be just a big glob of spirits and recall, and that's what I'm gonna get at. We are probably in the matrix. In reality, our spirits or our soul inside our body is the reality, is the actuality, and because of that, I just imagine like a pond of fishes, and they're all circling around, stuff like that, and just recall. That's basically our souls, and base in the universe. See, there's so. Okay, so if you go like that, then all of a sudden it's like. Because now I'm trying to think about that. Because now I'm trying to think about it. What is the material world? And how does the spirit world become. How does the spirit or soul world or whatever you want to call it create material? And then that's as simple as that. Universe happened, boom, spirits. Then it's just probably same thing as the Big Bang. Big Bang. I think it was like pressure, a lot of heat, and boom, it exploded, and Big Bang. And same thing. Instead of being like we call it just a bunch of spirits, and then those spirits turn to compress, make something material, or it could be just as simple as material. Then maybe, see, that's the problem with fucking the beginning. It could have been the spirit world created the material world, which the material world created the matrix. So spirit world could have created the material world, and the material world could have created the matrix. Yeah. And the material world would be just basically actually like atoms and neutrons or whatever that shit's mostly atoms, I guess. Well, I'll go with atoms. We're just gonna say atoms. Atoms, material create atoms, which are probably parts of, because there's a theory that maybe the whole universe is conscious, instead of like space and time. So that's why maybe we could like, maybe that's how there's a way we as could connect, as I mentioned, with that one thing where I didn't want to pause it because of recall. It felt like I did this thing. I did another podcast with Sixth Sense, and there was like moments in my life where it just felt like I had this thing, like everybody has it. Everybody has this Sixth Sense, and sometimes where it's like, oh, I'm whatever. You're like, oh, I miss my mom, my dad, or whatever. I need to call somebody, and you call them, and it's like at the right time because the universe. So that's one of the theories is I guess theories that the universe is conscious, and and atoms might be actually consciousness, not actually what part of the spirit and the atom, whatever is the underlying thing that creates everything. I think it's atom. I'm not sure. We're just using atom. The spirit was created, the material thing, atom, was created by the spirit because of, like the Big Bang, because everything compressed or because whatever the case may be. So that would say that material, then all saying material starts to, because it is the soul, part of the soul, and starts to create things, and so it creates like planets and universes and stuff like that. It starts creating, because the consciousness, you'd be like, it's just like your imagination. It could be like a lot of things. Consciousness, like how you think or your whatever, and then you build your consciousness tries to create these things in this world, like humans, aliens, and all these things. It could think within the spirit world could create. It will create, and then boom. So life, boom, 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 starts to pop up, and everything starting to be created from the spirit world because of the spirit world and that became material, which is atom, and atom started to grow because it's part of the spirit. So it came because it is what it is. It's from the spirit, so it's going to take the traits of the spirit and start to create things because the spirit is you know, us, what's in us, and if you obviously you could feel love and hate and whatever it's in the spirit, whatever. And so a created material, then all the same material created AI. Not only that, the matrix that will be what layers our reality. Because I'm trying to think right now. Because sometimes it is what I had my thought was basically just that vehicle now, but now I'm thinking of it like how's that. I'm trying to break it down myself as I'm speaking, and I'm trying to see other things, and I'm already seeing other things, and I'm like, okay, that could be wrong just because, you know, I think it was, I don't know which one, but it basically is like if you think you're going to control robots or AI, if you think AI is going to be stupider than you as it continues to grow, then you're full of shit. And AI is going to be smarter than you, and there's not going to be, the only reason you have a dumbed down AI is because you want to make it dumb. So in this case, I'm thinking it's like only reason why the matrix works out or these things work out because I, you know, wanted to make it work out. In reality, that's not the case. And now I'm like trying to figure out that because now I'm like, now I'm trying to figure out the concept of, not the concept, but the idea of well, whatever, the idea of the perception of the world around you is recall. And now I'm like, that's the matrix. What we are seeing is the matrix. And I'm trying to think about that. And where does the physicality begin and end? The material begin and end, and where does the soul? Where does that other than us and other than what possibly the universe being consciousness or the soul or whatever, and then where does that that could just be that we could just be like, as I said, like a pond of fishes just swimming around this big vast emptiness that is the universe, and that's the universe is consciousness, and consciousness is the soul or spirit, or maybe the spirit. The consciousness is the universe as a whole, and spirit is what maneuvers in the consciousness as individuals, and that could be atoms. Spirits could be atoms, and consciousness could be recall. And so I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about the material world as we so the spirit or the soul within us, then the material that surrounds it, body and flesh. Then I'm trying to think about AI and that concept of is it blocking? Is it the material? Is the matrix body and flesh, or is it the perception? So body and flesh is us, but what we see with our eyes is the matrix, the perception of what is reality, and reality is whatever the matrix is. So technically, like so when somebody says we're in the matrix, we probably are in the matrix only in the sense that that's how we're perceiving our reality. But in reality, we are in this vast open space of universe, and just there's layers, like there's these different dimensions, and then I'm watching the Sandman, and that's what was coming to mind, and how I don't know where I was at. Okay, because I fuck. There's 30 minutes and I fucked up. I should have stopped it. I was too much in the sauce, and I don't know exactly where I stopped. So we're going to just go fuck out full on fuck it, because I tend to repeat myself anyways. Okay, I'm gonna quit. The thing I talked about is souls or consciousness created, either the soul being the material or soul just being, that's what I'm saying. Consciousness could be the universe, the space, and what it's been, what layers the whole universe. Consciousness is that, and consciousness eventually created the Big Bang, and the Big Bang created material, which material could have been our souls. Then souls could have been manifest into materials. Well, not spirits, could have been still spirits, but a layer, extra layer from the spirit spread off to material. Then material split off to matrix, AI, matrix, the simulation. So what I'm trying to say is the simulation matrix, whatever you want to call it, that's AGI. That's our. So the beginning of time, consciousness was beginning of time. Consciousness was that darkness. Whatever happened before the Big Bang, that's consciousness. Consciousness, boom, Big Bang. Something happened with consciousness where boom, Big Bang, and whatever Big Bang happened, it created, spirits and souls, because spirits are the offsprings of spirits are the offspring of consciousness. And if I forgot what it is, the electrons or whatever, the only reason why they figure out it's a thing is because it's vibration. It's the smallest thing, I think, in the universe. I think it's smaller than an atom, maybe. I think atoms might be smaller, but I think it's smaller than an atom. And the only reason why we know I think it's electron or whatever it is, it exists, is because it vibrates. So you could say the soul is vibrations and shit like that. Like, hey, I get good vibes from you because of whatever. So consciousness, souls swimming in the space of consciousness, which is absolutely nothing. Then also spirits splintered off to material splintered off to simulation. And here I'm gonna go. So this is where I'm gonna go. Okay, boom, boom, boom. We're going to be on spirits creating material. Spirits, beginning of space after the Big Bang, and then spirits are roaming the fucking consciousness space. Like a pond, like a fish is a pond. Then then just like the consciousness created the spirit created material. So material, I think, planets, humans, aliens, whatever that comes to mind, is being created. And that's like the beginning of time. It created consciousness. Is, you could think of anything, like consciousness is the imagination and all that stuff. And so spirits got that, it's inherited that spirits will have the same thing. And then all of a sudden, create material. Now they can actually sculpt, we call it, and that's what happened. They sculpted, and now they're creating aliens, planets, and all that so forth to inhabit this pool of spirits that are just flowing through without no sense or reasoning, and now they have material like body and flesh to move more, I guess, limiting themselves in movement instead of being free, which that could be a thing. And then also because of that, they created this thing where, you know, a human, let's say alien, these aliens were able to create, you know, scientific things and stuff like that, and they were able to create a machine that could do what it's doing today. And then that's where the action layer is at, where from the beginning of time they created that, and it traveled all the way into the universe, and now we're, even though we're seeing, you know, AGI and stuff like that, it's probably been a thing. And when somebody says simulation, AGI, no, simulation or the Matrix, they mean AGI or artificial intelligence, and I think that's the Matrix. And I think that's where we're perceiving things and how wake up, because, you know, I just think those are the layers. And then when you just, I think those are the layers. What's beyond the soul? No, what's beyond consciousness? You could go with the, I think I mentioned this before, the Gnostic Bible, where they basically, God just popped out in a real gas, a gas word thing. I think it was a gas. Popped out of nowhere and says, "Okay, we're going to separate each other. I'm going to split myself in three. God, myself, repeater, God, and the Mother God." What happened there? That could be the big thing. That could be the big thing. That could have been the absolute nothingness. Absolute nothingness, and everything kind of concentrated to create a gas, which is God, and then God created this, you know, spiritual world and all that stuff. Then that spiritual created physical, then the physical created the Matrix. And I think that's it. Yeah. So I think we are in the Matrix technically, and I think the Matrix was a thing since whenever it was created in the beginning of time. Not the beginning of time, I think the beginning of time was spirits and whatever, like flowing energy. That was a thing, then it became material, which, you know, knock on wood, I'm talking on the mic and all that other stuff. Then and I think that's what we're seeing right now. How we're seeing. So yeah, I just think when you look at something, that's the Matrix, because the brain perceives what it sees as the Matrix and stuff like that. I think the body and flesh is the body and flesh as a material. I'm trying to figure out that part. Where does the Matrix begin and where does the material end? Where does the material and the Matrix begin? Does material begin at the soul, and the Matrix is our bodies? Is the Matrix the outline of the soul? Like everything? And the material is not necessarily us as because that's the other thing. The God particle is hard to explain, and I think this is what they're talking about. But I forget what it was called. CERN. They discovered a God particle. It's called a Higgs particle. I think they just call it God particle to get people wild up. Not necessarily. It's just that everything. It's a set of everything. So here's the other thought that might come to mind, because I'm thinking as I'm going, and I might follow off track, but Okay. Look at what's in front of me. In front of me is a laptop, a camera, and my desk. You see that? You hear that solidness? You hear that? That could be the matrix. But not only could it be the matrix, think about how the world is structured. It's not. It's difficult to explain, but I'll say it. Because I watched this thing about, sometimes the Alex O'Connor guy brings in some scientific people. So they explain it, and it's kind of hard to explain if you don't get it. And then I understand it, because I'm fucking stupid. I just can't, put it eloquently. But because he mentioned something about how, oh god, I can't remember it. Solid thing, solid. You hear that? Solid. Oh, you could just look at the thing here. Solid. That's the material. No, that's not material. That's the matrix. The solidness is the matrix, and what creates that solidness that we call is the material. So the pencil. Damn. So the pencil. If you hold a pencil, you think that's the material because you hold it. No, that's the matrix. The material is what creates what all the neutrons or I don't know what was it. I don't know what creates a pencil, but like the electrons, particles, all those particles are the material. Well, what creates the pencil is the matrix. So you see that pencil, that's the matrix. But in reality, if I were to see it while the brain manipulating my head to see it as a pencil, I would see how it actually is through the soul mind, and it would be actually like particles. And for some reason that particle is shaped like a pencil. And it's what the Higgs boson thing does. It gives the identity to the particles, which could be the matrix. Higgs boson is the matrix. I guess you would say that. Higgs boson could be the matrix. Higgs boson could be what is giving, could be the matrix. And particles, the things that we don't see, like are able to see, but are like the blinds. If you just imagine imagine that pencil being small little balls that creates small little balls. Consider that particles, small little balls of particles, and our brain is perceiving that all those little balls to be pencils. But if our brain didn't do that, we would see the balls. And that's how we'll see. We just see balls, and we grab it, and it's like, oh, cool. What can I do with this ball? Oh, I could just this ball that looks like a stick. What can I do with it? Oh, can I tap it? Cool, whatever. And that's where the Higgs boson or whatever creates the matrix, where it creates this, identifies this as boom, as a fucking as a pencil. That's kind of hard to explain. I think I explained it well, and so that could be that. It could be the soul is the soul. Particles is the material world. What we see in front of us is the matrix. It gives everything its identity. But in reality, I think that's what we're getting. We're getting that simulation. We're getting the simulation of what's in front of us. As imagine a coloring book. It's a simulation is coloring out the outlines of inside the outlines of this thing, whatever it is in front of you, that's what it is. And material world is the particles, the things, the actual foundation of the weekend. That's the material world. Simulation is us painting over that, creating, giving them identity, and so forth. And so we're going bottom up. What's above that? Fuck, do I know? But I think. But as I mentioned, this comes from science, things I've seen and stuff like that. And then also it's just like with the Sandman and thing like that, kind of gave me a better idea of how that could play out. Obviously I'm wrong, but thinking about it, like, that does kind of make sense, because I'm trying to think about, because it keeps saying that our brain is perceiving things not necessarily how it is, but how it's perceiving the world around it. That's real. Well, that's one scientific, I guess, idea scientists believe in. Scientists believe in, just simulation. Some believe in linear. Some believe in, as I mentioned, that our brains are perceiving the reality around us, not necessarily how we should be seeing it. And the only way we can see it is through the spirit. Damn. And then that's the spirit is how the soul, or whatever, spirit, soul, is how we see the universe. No, how we see each other in reality. Material, just particles and stuff like that, that's hindering our full view of our real reality, which is souls just flowing through an empty space of energy or whatever. And then the matrix is just coding all that. Obviously below that's God, and whatever that may be. And what happens after that, I don't know. I think, could that be that? Could it just be as simple as that? Do we ascend above God? That's another question. Do we ascend above God? And this all has to do with age. Yeah, I think that's the whole picture. I think that's like. I think this is what's probably could be happening, and I'm just mentioning that maybe we are in a simulation, because the simulation, the material, which is particles, created. The particles could have created. So the souls created the material, which is particles, and the particles created the simulation. So imagine consciousness just being a thing. Either the darkness before we all became a thing. Consciousness could be energy. Consciousness could be a big ass soul. Whatever the case may be, just say consciousness is consciousness. Consciousness created the Big Bang, which created this energy, spirits, souls, which then floated around the vastness of space, which could be consciousness, and then then spirits think as consciousness did, created material, which is particles. And imagine that. Bunch of bubbles all around us. Bunch of bubbles. We're just looking at a bunch of bubbles, and they don't make sense until we create a matrix, and then the matrix spreads out, creating the universe as we know it today. It's like an evolution. and essentially trapped us. So think about that. Spirits created the particles because just like consciousness created the Big Bang, which created spirits, which created the material, which is particles, and the particles were a bunch of balls. Also, now got defined by the matrix, and the soul sees the soul, but because the particles are blocking the soul or have captured the souls, so you can't really see it while the souls connecting and having this like good vibes and or bad vibes or just connecting through the spaces of the particles. Then Matrix just gave everything its definition, gave everything its identity. Yeah, I think that's. I'm gonna say. Actually, I don't know when it cut off, so I don't know. I repeated myself, so either way, you're gonna get that part. Whatever it cut it off at the 30-minute mark, and whatever I said after that, basically is what I just said now. So it's not really you're missing anything. Whatever, how much minutes I'm fucked up on, whatever it's a minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, it shouldn't have been that long. But I pretty much explained whatever I said at that time it cut off. Now, I think that's all I've been thinking about. It's been like rummaging through my head, and it's one of those good things where sometimes I have to watch stuff to better expand my thoughts. Not only better expand it, but better explain it. Like the example with the Sandman. As I think I mentioned, I'm not sure if that's what's been cut off or whatever, but the Sandman, he says there's a difference in mortals and gods, and there's a humans and immortals. I think there's even gods. I think gods, immortals, and humans. There's like different layers. Gods, God will be God, and so in the case you see, it will be like souls will be gods, and immortals will be spirits. And so if you look at it like that, you get like a better idea instead of like, oh, it's so that's what I'm just saying watching something like that gave me a better idea to how to explain things a little bit better or whatever. Anyways, I think I'm rapping right now. I think I've said enough what I needed to say. I just don't want to say something I didn't miss it, and then I'm like, oh, I need to fucking do like a 4-minute or whatever. Anyways, this is gonna be AI God. A God I or AI God, I don't know how I'm saying that. Anyways, bye, thank you.